Hey folks, it's Philly Boy J, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make peanut butter curry chicken. And what we're going to focus on first is the preparation for our cabbage and our chicken. We have to clean our cabbage and chicken, and we also have to cut our cabbage and chicken before cooking it, okay? So this is what you're going to do first. You're going to get a head of cabbage, and we probably won't be using all of this, but you're going to begin pulling off each leaf of cabbage. Alright guys, so here's our cabbage, and the amount of cabbage that you use really depends on how much chicken that you're using, and I'm only using 6 chicken thighs, so I'm only using about 3/4 of a head of cabbage, okay? So now that we pulled off the big leaves of cabbage, what we're gonna do is we're gonna chop them up, and then we're gonna let them soak, just to make sure that we remove any funk or residue that may be on the leaves of cabbage. We're gonna let them soak in some salt water solution. We're gonna cut them up further, and then we're going to place them in a bowl of salt water solution, okay? So that's our chopped cabbage. We're going to sprinkle it with some salt, and we're going to cover it with some cool water. And yeah, you got to clean your cabbage. I do the same thing with collard greens, because as I was chopping the cabbage, I noticed a little bug that looked like a ladybug, but it was dark. So yeah, and I also noticed that they were really dirty. So for those of you wondering, this step is definitely a step that you cannot skip over, okay? So we're going to let that sit, and while our cabbage is sitting, we're going to move on to the next step. And you're going to chop your vegetables up into medium-sized pieces. They don't have to be small. Here are your vegetables. Make sure that you're using large bell peppers, because it does make a difference. Okay, this is 1/4 of a large green bell pepper, and this is a half of a large red bell pepper, and again, this is a small onion. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next step, and we're going to prepare our 6 chicken thighs. So let's go do that now. So I have a bowl here. We're going to be soaking our chicken. To this bowl, we're going to add some salt, about a tablespoon, and we're going to add some cool water. And this is where we're going to be soaking our chicken after we remove the fat. What you want to do first, I always tell my newbies to look behind the fat of the thigh. You want to remove any clear slime like that you may see. Remove all of that, and make sure you have some cool water running. But remove all that slime first. All that there, we're gonna remove all that clear slime. What you're gonna do next is you're gonna focus on the fat. You're gonna remove all of this yellow excess fat. You're going to see some of that fat on both sides, okay? So make sure you get all of that yellow fat from off the thighs. Try to get as much as possible. Might not be able to remove all of it, but try to remove as much as possible. And with this fat here, it really depends. Some people like to keep the fat on that chicken, others don't. You can remove all of it, or you can remove some of it, but you definitely want to remove some. Like this here, this dangling part, that's excess fat. You don't need all that on your chicken thighs. So we're gonna cut this part off. And that's pretty much it. Once you get done, you're gonna sit it in the bowl of salt water solution and just let it sit for a few minutes. Okay guys, so what you're gonna do now is you're going to debone your thighs. You're going to cut the meat from around the bone. And make sure you cut off all that meat. You want to get all that meat because you don't want to lose your meat to the bone. Okay? There's your bone. You're going to discard that. And then you're going to chop your chicken up into medium-sized pieces. Smell good. Okay, so you're going to get your pot, you're going to place it over medium high heat. Then you're going to add your oil. All right, then you're going to add your chicken. Alright, so our chicken's been going for about 20 minutes. Just want to brown it a bit, not too much. So we're going to remove the chicken, scoop it out, and then we're going to add our cabbage now. We're going to cook the cabbage and the vegetables until it's tender. We're going to cover it with a lid. And then we'll add the final ingredients. Add the cabbage now. And it may look like a lot, but this is going to shrink, trust me. And you're going to add about, I'll say, a cup of water. Cover that with a lid and let that go. What we're going to do now is we're going to add our final ingredients. You're going to start off by adding your curry powder. Also, this recipe will be on my website, so make sure you visit www.PhillyJCooking.com for the full measurements and detailed instructions. Full recipe will be there. We're going to add our curry powder. Let's give it a nice color, by the way. Okie dokie. We're going to add our ketchup. Ketchup just balances out all the flavors. Okay. Okay, so now we're adding the peanut butter. We're going to add our sugar. Not too much of that. You got to add the sugar, because we're using a lot of strong flavors, so that just balances everything out. And you're going to add your coconut milk. Okay. Add some creaminess to the dish, and then you're going to give this a nice stir. Look at that. And the juice from the cabbage and the coconut milk is what's going to help to break down the peanut butter. Look at that nice color that the ketchup gives it. It's going to be amazing. And for those of you who don't like peanut butter, this don't really have a strong peanut butter taste, Ali, once it's done. Okay. Stir this all in really well. Gonna stir this all in, and that's gonna pretty much be it. You don't want your peanut butter curry to be too thick. Okay, so okay guys, so we're going to cut the fire back on. This time we're going to cut it on medium heat, and we're just going to let this continue cooking for about another 15 minutes. Then you're going to cut the fire off. Okay guys, so our peanut butter curry chicken is all done. Get ready to plate this now. This is best served with white rice. It's really, really good. I was first introduced to this recipe 2 years ago by a Haitian friend of mine. And I know certain food combinations may sound a little odd, you know, like chicken and peanut butter, but you have to be open-minded when it comes to food, and you have to take risks. You know, you have to take risks in life, because you never know what you may be missing out on. You know, you don't really know if something's good or not good unless you try it first. So I hope you guys try this recipe out. Like I said, it's really good. The full recipe will be on my website, PhillyJCooking.com. Hope you guys enjoy peanut butter curry chicken. Peace.